Hello and welcome to episode 5 of our Timberborn Update 3 modded and aesthetic playthrough with the Folktales faction. Last episode we had a noisy time with the audio. It's much better today, different hotel room that actually has carpet, and I have a little bit better of a recording setup as well. But last episode we had a little bit of improvement done over here. Got our triple floodgates set up, although we can't raise them all the way because this area tends to flood. We're going to try and fix that this episode, as well as address a couple of other things that we did last time around. Like expanding this little housing area, we're going to end up putting a few more things over here, reconfigure some stuff, as well as, instead of having this big forest area here, we're going to find another spot on the map, possibly over here-ish, and make a proper actual forest with maybe a little lumber camp inside, and then maybe put some more housing around this lake, make that a little nicer, and probably also move our district center over here and have a good time, actually being able to reach the other half of the map. Let's also not forget that we put this other dam in right here, and that's going to really help us out by keeping this filled and keeping this entire, well, pretty much the entire middle of the map good to go as well. So what we'll need to do now is find some way of getting water that is not pumping out of this little area right here, because as you can see, this drought has started. It's only 6 days because we're on normal difficulty, so it's really not ever going to get bad, but we're going to want to make sure that we keep ourselves in a good informed status for all of that fun stuff. So all that being said, let's go ahead and get right to work. Pardon the slower frame rate. We are on a laptop trying to run this game and also record at the same time, but I think we're still going to be able to have a very nice time indeed. So I think what we'll end up doing here is these 3 items right here are going to end up moved somewhere else, and I will put the district center right here at this crossroads. So we'll go ahead and get rid of our lumberjack flag, get rid of our gatherer flag. They'll take those items elsewhere, and the explosives as well. We'll just go ahead and put in a couple of warehouses in a different spot. And I think we're going to be able to get away with putting a couple right here. We'll have this one be for the explosives. And what else is over here? We had berries, chestnuts, and dandelions. Alright, I think we can just make this dandelions. We have other places that we can put the other stuff. If I can remember which one of these is dandelions. Jeez. You'll have to forgive me, I'm blind sometimes. At any rate, that'll take care of that. And the berries we're not really too worried about, but we are going to make sure they have somewhere to go. Chestnuts have a place there. Did we make one over here? I honestly can't remember that. No, that's paper and that's metal blocks. Okay. So chestnuts probably need to have their own storage, like an actual warehouse, since we are using those for food. So why don't we go ahead, put this guy right here. We'll make him for chestnuts. Match up our decor right there. Yep, that guy can be for chestnuts. And then we also, of course, have berries. And those, not really quite so much of an obvious answer to that. But what we can do is we can utilize the landscape to our advantage and actually put in a storage right there. That doesn't look too bad. We might pop a rooftop on there in case we feel like being a little fancy. I think for right now, just so we have somewhere to put everything, I think we're going to want to put the berries in there, just so we can get them out of the middle of the road. Everything is going to get moved, so let's go ahead. Right, we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Pause the game so people don't flip out too much. And then we'll put this right here, just like that. We'll just go ahead and name this the same as the city, Beaverburg 6 for Series 6. And now we should, from this middle part, I can't zoom out quite so far, but we should now be able to reach pretty much everywhere on the map we want to go. Obviously over here the paths get a little longer, but we still can reach everything, which is good. That's the result we wanted. And perhaps more importantly, now here we have a ton of extra travel space. And especially over here, it's going to be very valuable in getting us access to, put some lodges on this lake and get at the rest of the map. So I'm glad we did that. That is that problem all taken care of. So let's go ahead and start making our way over here to try and address our little flooding issues. So we'll go ahead and take all of this out. And probably doesn't hurt to just go ahead and mark all this anyway, even though we're not going to be over there for quite some time. Oh, we actually didn't have those as the gravel path. We had it as just the regular path. So we'll make sure that lines up. Speaking of paths, we got to talk about these frogs. Now, a couple of you in the comments have said that you like these. A couple of you have said you really don't like them. And one of you made a statement that has absolutely shaken me to my core. And you've said that the frog path is a tie-in to another mod that has frog shrines. So if that's an actual mod, I need to find that immediately, because that's going to add some substantial entertainment value to this playthrough. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about the frog path? I'm not personally super in love with it, but if there's spicy frog lore to go with it, then I think it just went way, way higher on my tier list of paths in this mod pack. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about the frogs. We will revisit that in a future episode after I have some feedback. Probably at this point, episode 7 will be the next episode I put out after seeing the comments on this video. So yeah, let's keep that in the back of our mind real quick. So now that we have this area a little bit more cleared out, I'm going to go ahead and move these farmhouses. We'll go ahead and move, I guess I just go ahead and move that one right there. And delete that. And then we can extend our houses here, because you see how we have this set up. This is actually perfectly set up to put in another couple of these guys. Just make stuff match up nicely like so. And then we could either have this enclosed right here, or we could put something else in there entirely, because of how these are set up here, good to go. Actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will have this more or less kind of mirrored here. Get rid of these lumberjack flags as the game hopefully doesn't crash. There we go. And we will do this exact same thing we just did. Leave a little space right here for them to get by. Where's the doorway on that side? So I guess that means we need to do this one. Yep. Just like so. And then we'll come over here. Yep, that's the correct one. Just for the sake of symmetry. I do love symmetry. We'll have that match up like so. And actually, yeah, let's make these all match pretty nicely here. Everything inside of this is going to match, because we have the ability to do that now. All right, it's looking good. That can come all the way through here. There we go. So now we have this all taken care of. We're going to leave this lumberjack flag right here and hook that back up. So now we have a pretty nice looking setup right here. You know what we have to do? Well, you know, we actually don't have to do that. I think we can leave these roofs right here just as they are. That is kind of a feature point with our little Lido slash swimming pool area here. We can pop in a couple more things here to look nice, though. We could put some more shrubs, Or we could just put some more trees. I think for right now I would be tempted to just put in some more trees. Is that a maple? Okay, we'll alternate that just like we had already done. Put that right there, and then we'll come over here to our decoration tab and continue our little roof building. And I think that is looking quite nice. Then we'll leave this open as a path to get over here. I believe, is that actually now too far from the district center? I think it might be. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, that's not ideal, so I'll tell you how we'll fix that. Is we will move our bench here, and then we'll just connect this path like so. That should fix that problem, and then we'll just put the bench right back here. That'll have the same general effect on it. And then we can come in here and plant some more trees. Just make some nice pines, just to kind of have this whole thing kind of set up there. I think that looks pretty nice. That should cover all of that, and this forester, of course, can plant this entire area over here. So now that this is looking a little nicer here, I think that's a big improvement, adds some value to this area substantially. Now, how have our boys done over here? Let's keep extending this path here. We're getting closer. We are getting a lot closer. We might actually be able to build our levees here. Of course, instead of just having everything, oh, hello. Instead of having everything just be levees here, I think I'm going to make a couple of dam pieces as well. And then build back behind here if I can, and make sure water diverts down this back channel, which will then irrigate most of the rest of this like we see here. And now that we have the extra range, we can actually come down here and demolish all of these barriers, which I will go ahead and queue up as soon as they have the ability to get over there and do that. I'm sure they will. So let's actually come over here now and set these guys up to delete all of these bushes. And to get rid of all of that. That's going to take them probably a decent amount of time to take care of. So that'll be a long-term project for sure. Meanwhile, looks like we've made some good progress here. So actually I think we need to put in a staircase here. Or maybe we don't need to do staircase quite yet. I think what we'll do instead is we'll put in a lumberjack right here. Yeah, we'll do that. Let him go to work. Once this is demolished, we'll go ahead and mark that as a high priority, because if we put a lumberjack here, we can actually make use of all of this wood. That'll be very helpful indeed. We probably should go ahead and build another large pile. I guess we can have it right here probably isn't the best spot for it. But I don't really have anywhere else to put it, so I think we'll just go right there. I do like this wood finish. Wood Folktales Path, that's what it was. That's quite nice for like a wooded area, but this will be for logs. That'll be quite nice there. We'll get this hooked up to the path system. And perfect, ready to go. He's going to get to work as soon as I tell him to cut these trees down, which is what I'm going to do. I didn't realize these were on multiple levels. So we'll get a better picture once he's able to actually get back here. But it looks to me like most of this here will be pretty easy to get cut pretty quickly. And actually, if we want to be really proper about this, I'll put another one in. We'll go twice as fast. We haven't even started speeding up the game yet. I know I tried not to get into the too fast realm in this playthrough because we want to slow down and take the time to actually, appreciate the game instead of just blasting through everything at maximum speed. Or I think that would be nice, at least. You may have your own opinions, and that is perfectly fine. I just know I've been playing a lot of really fast mode Timberborn for the past, 3 straight months. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to take a little bit more time to appreciate the progress of the game and the actual pace that it's organically going. So we'll leave them to that. It's looking good, making nice progress here. This is looking good. And before we get too far, because it's only been 2.5 days since we started in game today. I know a number of you have said, hey, you got rid of all the medical beds, and that is absolutely correct. That was a mistake on my part that we are going to go ahead and fix. If I can find a good spot for some medical beds. I was thinking about maybe building a hospital type area. Just have to figure out a good place for it. Realistically, it's probably going to be over here. I'm just going to go ahead for right now, put in 4 of these right here, just because I know this is a place a lot of people can get to. We will make a nicer looking thing eventually. I just don't know if that is really something that's going to fit into our episode today or maybe tomorrow's. We'll see. We'll take a look. But I do know that it is very important to get that taken care of before it gets too crazy hard to deal with. So thank you for alerting me to that. That was not something I had noticed until it was way later than it should have been in that timeline. Alright, second lumberjack flag. We'll get that going. Also, the computer likes it a lot more. Well, this one does when I don't run it at triple speed. Trying to get 1 billion frames per second out of it. Although this laptop is doing a very good job. I'm actually kind of surprised it's not exactly a current generation GPU in here. I think it's a GTX 1650 Ti, which is pretty good for a mobile GPU, but it's not what I've got at home. Trying to run 165 FPS on a Ultra 1440p. Now, this will do just fine. Of course, we'll be back in the new year when I'm back home on that setup. But in the meantime, I think this will work quite well, especially now that I've got the audio situation a little bit more under control. Not perfect yet, but we're getting there. So he's making good progress with all of this. Let's go ahead and get rid of these berry bushes. We really don't need these to be here at all. As soon as he starts getting into this area, we can start building back behind it. We really want to make sure we don't spill over right here, because this is going to be the most vulnerable area for that. So once all these birch trees are out of there, that'll be a lot easier to make sure that doesn't happen. Alright, we're actually making really good progress over here. So let's come back and put this path in. All they have to do now is get over here and delete all this. And we'll put that staircase in. Okay, that guy's stranded because he made poor life choices. Now I wonder if this gets demolished, will they just fall down? Will they be injured somehow? Inquiring minds want to know. Are you serious? It just moved him to the next one? Really? Okay, well, you're not stranded anymore. Come on, get on up. There you go. Alright, so good news is this is now done. And we can go ahead and set this guy all ready to get some of these trees taken care of here. Might as well get the wood while we can, right? There's no reason to waste it. I think that's pretty much all we're going to be able to do for right now. I don't think this guy is going to be able to get... Oh, he actually can. Okay. So we'll just get these. Let them do their thing. Get these 4 trees as well. Looking good. So we're in really good shape now with progress I wanted to make in today's episode, so that feels good. I actually don't think we're going to be able to get these out unless we have a staircase, which we're not going to be able to put anywhere except right here. I don't think there's anywhere else I can insert a, well, anything like a staircase. Yeah, it's going to have to be right here. So I think what we'll end up doing here is put in a levee right here that should help prevent some of the flooding. We'll put one more as soon as they get rid of that tree. Right there, we'll put one more there, and then of course finish this off. And I think that should get us most of where we need to go. In preparation for that, we can actually go ahead and raise this up to, I think it was at 2.5 maybe? Because we also have this backside we have to finish building here. I don't know why they stopped that. I actually don't remember. Was it because they had the wrong section finished first and I deleted something? I don't know. That is not something I remember, but I do know that we need to have this done as well. And then I don't know if they can delete these without having anybody climb on top of that, but if they don't have to have that, then we can just build this up an entire level as well and take care of that way. Still looking pretty good on water supply, although we didn't have enough stored up to probably have this completely turned off for the entirety of a drought. We're going to fix that. But I think for right now, we have enough depth here that if I turn 1 or 2 of these back on, it's not going to kill us. But we definitely don't want to run out of water, and we're going to be getting more water gathered as well and distributed to different areas around the town. Like, see, up here we have these 2, which is probably fine for right now. But we are going to want to have more. So we'll have to be careful about how we have the rest of this set up. Alright, I can come back in here and put in our second levee right there. This should be, unless we were just in some sort of cataclysmic amount of water here, this should be enough to prevent all the flooding down here, because we have this channel set up. How are we doing over here? Alright, that is progress. I guess I can turn the haulers on. Speaking of, let's check and make sure we actually have guys working here, and we do. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, we have water here. Why are they going all the way over there? Huh. Well, they shouldn't really have to worry about that. Oh, I never connected these paths. Why did I not do that? Okay, that's probably has something to do with why this hasn't been built super fast. Well, we'll let them continue to do their thing. It's probably going to be a pretty slow process, all things considered. Although these guys are doing a very good job of clearing this out. 1.5 days left in the drought. These, of course, are working nicely. We do want to go ahead and think about putting in a healer, especially because we do have dandelions that are not being used. And we have all of the components for it, I believe, if we're looking at our list over there in the top corner. So let's go ahead and unlock the healer. And just for the time being, I think we can just go ahead and put that guy right there, just so we can have the medicine started. Again, I do want to build some sort of a hospital thing somewhere, and we'll do that when the time comes. Or possibly we could even turn this into something like that. But I'd probably want to rework it just a little bit, as well as having a big tank for medicine, as funny as that is, to have just open air medicine in a tank. I mean, I guess maybe somewhere in the world that's how they do it, but something tells me that's not getting FDA approval. Well, then again, in a post-apocalyptic beaver society, I think an American government agency is going to be the last thing on any of these guys' minds. Unless they're American beavers, which I don't think so. I think mechanistry is Polish. They've got a different healthcare setup over there anyway. Frog paths. I'm feeling really good about where we are. Lots of good progress since last episode. Especially if before this drought ends, we can get the rest of this all set up, ready to go. I think we're going to be in really, really good shape. These guys getting back to work again. Getting the rest of these trees taken care of. Yeah, we're in a good spot. We're doing fantastically well. Just want to get them to finish this upper level of this thing right here. Would be really nice to have this done. I don't think it's getting done immediately, but fortunately our wet season is a little bit longer than the rest of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put in a staircase here just to facilitate getting this cleared off. And then we will be able to replace all of this with, well, wooden blocks. Just the way we wanted. I think that's going to be nice. So we can go ahead and start double stacking all of these. And hopefully this ends up working. I think this path should reach. I'm not sure if that's going to be in range of anything. Okay, so that's just barely outside the range, which is fine. We're not really going to need to build over here. I think with this here, we can pretty much reach every corner of the map, or close enough every corner of the map. Actually, right here would be a good place for another staircase to get up here, so we'll go ahead and put that in. Eventually, we are going to get into these other staircases, because we do have kind of like a spiral thing going on. And I was going to save that until we made one of these multi-story buildings. We haven't really done anything housing-wise with that yet. But we probably will. I think some of these fancier areas might be a better thing for that. We could maybe try making some spiral staircases or some sort of more complex storage solution. Could be a good opportunity to do that. But we're about to have all this water come in, so I wanted to make sure that we were in a slightly better space for that. But I think we're going to be good with this the way that it is, at least for the time being. We just have this one tree for them to go ahead and take care of, and then I can close this off. I don't think any of these are going to be growing anytime soon anyway. Hopefully. Alright, and here comes our water once again. That is one thing I like about this map, is how quickly droughts stop being a problem once the water starts coming up again. Although it is a little slower, not on 3 times mode. Okay, making good progress there. Somebody come over here and do this. I beg of you. Because I really want to get this all the way up to the maximum height that it's supposed to be. So that'll be exciting. Okay, so that's all done. Now we can come over here. We'll make this a top priority to build that guy. As long as none of those beavers decide to be stupid and go on the other side of it, then we'll be in business. We'll be good to go. So yeah, just don't come through here. You don't have to. Look, you can build from this side. You're going to be okay. Of course, it's going to flood through here because there's no levee in place, but that will very quickly cease to be a problem once this bottom one is built, which looks like it's going to be right now. And done. You just have to wait for this water to go away after it kind of floods everything. But now that this is taken care of down here, we should be in really good shape. This water will eventually go away, about 3 seconds here. Although there is a little bit more water than we want, so we need to have... Okay, that dried out and died in like 0.5 seconds. Alright, that's fine. Not really too worried about that. Man. Water dynamics are something, aren't they? Well, good news is this is pretty much a non-issue. We'll just come over here and put those guys right there just to make it double sure we don't have too many more problems like that. I guess I could have put a path here. That probably would have helped for them to get access to all that. Yeah, I think we're in good shape here. Now, the other thing I wanted to do today, of course, as I mentioned earlier, is to make an actual, like a logging district. I think this area up here would be a good spot for that. We just don't have... Well, I guess I could relocate this forester here, because it is kind of up out of the way. How close are these to being grown? 53%, 45%. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those two. And we'll put in a set of stairs here. We'll put another stair here. And then we're going to relocate our forester. I believe once this is fully set up, I believe this will be a good spot for him. Probably right here. We'll still be able to get to most everything else. And then what we can go ahead and do, we'll leave the forester there. We'll put two of those guys right there, and then we'll come over here to our tapper's shack, which we have not messed with yet. Go ahead and unlock him. And I think this would be nice to place somewhere around here. I'm very tempted to go for the space maximizing idea of just sticking it up against the slope here. But I also want it to look nice, you know? So if we were to put him right there, just kind of in the middle, we'll just have that set up like so. And then of course we'll have to have a storage unit for all the maple syrup. Medium tank might actually be a little big for up here, just for the aesthetic purposes. But I do like the idea of having a couple of these things. So maybe we'll just put a small tank. Again, this is not for efficiency's sake. This is just to make something look a little nicer. Nope, I didn't want to put that there. I'm going to put one right here at this intersection here, as well as a small warehouse. Maybe I could put, because I want them to be able to get across here. Maybe I just put this right here and have that be for, if I can find it on here. It's very small on a 15-inch laptop screen versus a giant monitor that I'm used to looking at. Where, oh where? Pine resin. There we go. Of course, it's going to take them 800 years to get here. But once that's in place, we can plant this whole thing up here with different types of trees. We'll be in good shape for that. They still haven't gotten to this yet, which I guess is probably what I should have expected. We'll get this guy put in, and then I believe I can just build the rest of them all at once because I have space for that. another fun thing for them to do in some sort of order. I need to put a water tank up here. I always want to click water to put water tanks. But let's put a small one right here. And we'll mark that as accept goods. That'll be a better spot for that, just so the guys don't have to walk all over the place to, not die of thirst. Okay, this is looking good. This guy has nothing to do anymore because he already got rid of all the trees. So we'll get rid of that. I guess we can leave the stairs here. We don't really need to worry about that. But now we have all of this land is irrigated, and that's good news because we can put another farm here if we wanted, or do any manner of things really. And perhaps more interestingly, this is another place we can put power wheels, water wheels. Except we have all these dead trees sitting here we have to get rid of, which are kind of annoying, but I think we can fit maybe just 2 wide here. Looks like, yeah, 2 wide, but it'll be, I think this will be a pretty good amount of flow. It's not really, this right here might actually be a better spot for it. Yeah, I'm thinking this might work. Even though you have the thing right here. I don't know, let's just go ahead and do that. I like that. Because it should be a pretty decent amount of flow coming through here. And we can always have more water coming out the back of that anyway once the little wall here is all set and ready to go. These guys are just going to take their sweet time to delete all of this stuff because they have, well, they have other stuff they're doing, which is fine. But I think overall we're doing a good job. We actually have some unemployed beavers. Are they all, wow, okay. I guess we finally have filled up all of our new houses we just built, giving us a total of 81 beavers. Actually, no, there's 1 free bed. Okay, I didn't see that. But I really like this. Kind of like a courtyard setup here where you have different things beavers will have to walk past. At least one of these, except these guys, I guess. It doesn't matter. Stuff's doing really well for that. Now, our water storage amount is not super high, but we do have 4 of these guys on the case, and looks like they're going to be doing a good job with that. I just wish they'd get rid of these blueberries here. Because I know these guys can get to this. They're just busy doing other stuff, which is, I guess, to be expected. But we have another builder right here. And then we have these 4 guys sitting here. Oh, we only have 2. Okay, well, fix that problem real quick. That's looking good there. I just need these guys to get this done on this side is what I was really worried about. Although I guess it doesn't matter if this is still like so. If I put this up to 2.5, just how badly is this going to flood back here? It really shouldn't because it's only half a block. And especially since this is all taken care of. I think that should be okay. I am going to go ahead and put in a staircase just right here. Then I think I can put in... They still haven't gotten to this either, man. They're busy. They're doing something. I was going to keep a 2 square barrier around this for trees. Go ahead and move that guy. Because now that they can, actually get over here, we could have plenty more of these guys. Just move these scavenger flags all the way over there. So what we really need is more scrap metal storage. Because I think we hadn't actually built any of it. We're just sending everything over here to the smelter, and it looks like that's kind of what was happening. Oh, you know what? I never rebuilt the gatherer flag. So if you left that comment on the on the video, hey, you deleted your gatherer flag and rebuild it. Thank you for your knowledge. I have already figured it out, but I'm always going to encourage you to, well, I guess always going to encourage you to flood this entire half of the map. So let's fix that real quick. But I'm always going to encourage you to take an active role in these videos and try to notice things that I might have missed. So please always feel free to comment those things. I always appreciate them. It makes me feel like you guys are enjoying all of this stuff if you're taking the time to point out stuff like that. So all that being said, now that this is done being flooded, hopefully they'll be able to start putting these chestnuts back in place. And we'll be in good shape for that. And that levee is all done, which means we can put the next one up. Which actually should be those 3, just like that should be fine. Once all of these are fixed, by fixed I mean removed, we should be able to get up another level and a half without having any more problems. So we can look forward to that. Looks like they're in the process of starting these water wheels, which is good. We can have a second area over here. I think that this might be good for metalworking, just because it's close to this giant ruins here. Might be the smart thing. Plus you have these metal areas up here, which will be nice. And then we can get rid of our smelter here and turn it into something else useful, like maybe some wood processing. Okay, good. This is here. Which means we can hopefully move this forester up and out of the way up here sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and put in, how about some maple trees? I like the idea of maple trees. We can have this whole area kind of inundated with trees. Maybe put in, I don't know, a nice bench for them to sit on. Probably should put that right there at the edge. And then what else? Well, I guess we can just start with that. And I wanted to put in, I didn't want to spend the science, but I wanted to put in a wind gauge and a scarecrow. So scarecrow, let's find, oh, okay, yeah, area of effect. I'd forgotten about that. Let's find a good spot for him. Again, this is not going to be a super efficient placement of this, I guess is the word I was looking for. But I think just having something that's kind of useful and kind of in a good spot is going to be good enough for me, I think. I just unplanted, I think it was one of these, so when that gets harvested, we will know. We'll be good to go. Now, we've got wheat flour, we've got wheat, and we've got these guys making bread. Did I? Yes. Wow, we almost have 1,200 bread. That's a lot of bread. We've got to get these guys eating more bread. Might be a next episode thing to solve there. Okay, so this isn't going super fast. But I think it'll be fine once we have a little bit more water flow coming out the back of this. After they, well, if they eventually get this all taken care of. Well, that's going to be nice when that's all taken care of right there. We'll have to come revisit that a bit later. Okay, that was the harvested thing. They're supposed to come over here and do one of these. But they haven't quite yet. All right, I want them to hurry up and build all these guys so we can get these trees going and move him out of here. I guess I can go ahead and do some more of these maples. We'll leave the pine trees down here. No reason not to, right? Try to have some sort of a well, kind of somewhat natural looking forest up here. But of course the idea is that we're not going to have to cut all of these down. We can harvest some of them for the maple syrup and the pine resin respectively. Except they haven't started deleting anything yet, it seems. Well, the good news is this is coming along at least. Once that guy's done, we'll put the guy in the corner, and then we'll put this guy in, and then this side will be complete for all intents and purposes. That's looking good right there. And we're just about out of time for this episode anyway. So I think what we'll go ahead and do is get this section finished here. We'll call it for today. And then we'll be back at it again tomorrow to check and see what else we can take a look at improving. Now that both these guys are in, they're making... Okay, this one's making a pretty good 144. Making 60. Not the best, but definitely not the worst either. No, I don't think I have a lumberjack in range over here anymore, do I? No, and I'm not going to worry about it. It's just a couple of logs. We have plenty. Go ahead and get rid of these 3 dead trees. And then we can start putting some other stuff over here. The smelter is 4 tiles wide, which means we're going to want to... going to want to put a platform here to build on top of. And then actually what we can do here, come over here with a levee, and we can actually put in, I think 4 of those should probably do, try to funnel the water a little bit more directly through these wheels. That will be hopefully a nice change for that. Go ahead and get these 2 guys ready to go here. Yes, I know those require 200 horsepower apiece, but hopefully this will have a little bit of increased power pretty soon if I can get them to ever finish the rest of this. Looks like they're making some sort of progress at the very least. I'm going to have to just have path for a little while so they can get across over there. But that is very quickly becoming a next episode problem to solve. Let's go ahead and put in our last levee on this side, and that will complete today's fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of what we have going on here. Haven't really done anything else over here. I guess I could get rid of these dead things, but those will get replaced eventually when we have other stuff happen here. Now, I thought one of these was one of the ones that I had set to be harvested and then not replanted. So I wonder... I guess I just have to do... Oh no, it was this one right here, just hasn't been harvested yet. Okay. So that'll be next episode. That'll get a scarecrow there. I like this. I know this is a pretty simple thing, but I think this is a pretty nice design. You know, it's at least, I don't know, kind of interesting. Hopefully. Alright. We still don't have these buildings built. That'll be a next episode thing for sure. So we're going to go ahead and check to make sure this is all done, and it just about is. They just need to have somebody come in the morning and finish that up. So go ahead and start wrapping up today's episode. Really starting to come together, especially now that we have water coming down the backside here. Opens up a lot more opportunities for us to put maybe another farm in, even though I really don't think we need one. We have plenty of food, and I don't really anticipate ever having more than 100 beavers in this playthrough. I'm going to try and keep it kind of limited. So I think we're in a good shape there. We just need to put in our little beaver hospital area, maybe that university area we were talking about in the comments a little bit, to get these guys, especially once we get our observatory. That's going to be really cool. I really love that model. I think it's fantastic. We can find a nice spot to put that guy, maybe up on a hill somewhere, and then eventually get 2 golems as well, and maybe make a couple more aesthetic looking storage solutions. Plus we have all of these 3x2 roofs we have to put up on the other half of these barn-like structures. But hey, this thing's done, which means we are finished for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your day to watch me play this silly little game that we all love so much. And appreciate you bearing with me as I'm recording on the road for the next couple of weeks, going out to visit family across the country, which is always important. But I wanted to make sure that I could at least get some videos out to you guys while we're doing that. So thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And no matter what it is that you're doing, I hope you have a fun and enjoyable time. Stay safe. Don't forget to take a couple of minutes to just enjoy life today. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.